Armor combo for Simple again, kind of a mirror setup from what we saw on Nuke as well. And in we go then. Two smokes on the T side and a bit of aggression here from Patsy, who's pushing up in toward the lower B.
Yeah, this lower dark play, it's become extremely common here, whether you do it early in the round and then slip back through the doors. You don't want to allow the Ts to get upper dark for free anymore. At least keep that question mark available here, as the 1x bet odds are quite heavily favoring NaVi in this one, and we can understand why. But again, a bit of a slower approach, not out the gates. They're just setting up in a bit of a default spread. They can grab the information that the CTs throw their way with the setup. Like, hey, one of them's poking his head through mid right now. Simple still aware of the potential for the short duel. Some peppering back and forth against the likes of Wonderful here. But still no call coming through. Patsy looking like he's going to have some action, though.
He needs at least one here. There it is. He can actually get out of this situation as well, but he wants a second go. Perfecto will punish him for it, and it's going to be a long take on the other side of the map with the bomb as well. Someday Young Electronic leading the charge here, and the CTs are getting overwhelmed. They're falling back towards CT spawn, and sure, Siren will leave the B side completely open.
But look how NaVi are toying with them here, right? This is the level of theory that you want to do as a team, right? Okay, if they're doing a very mid setup, right? We knew one was short, we knew one was spotting mid, and we knew Patsy was lower because he took a fight. NaVi had all that information. As soon as they had that, they took the long control because it was very likely there'd be multiple players long. They forced that rotation over towards A, and now having to, well, reposition and take stock our team spirit, but they made the right call.
They have absolutely made the right call, and Chopper has been very handy with the pistols today. Even when it's just him against the rifles, there's a smoke towards the double door, the Siren. He's made the call, and remember, Chopper's tucked away as well, but he hasn't found much damage yet. The T's are starting to flood in, and Chopper does find the kill required. They know he's towards Carl, though, can't find the second. 3 versus 2, 10 seconds remaining.
The flank, no one's looking at the flank.
Exactly. Wonderful, can't hit the shot though, Chad, and there it is. It does come through. They've got to plant the bomb still. It does go down, but still another advantage here for Team Spirit. They've pulled it right back.
Well, Simple Perfecto here, 2-on-2 situation, locked in towards the side. The P250 needs to strike as both players, or both sides, have someone who's low. Peppered, Wonderful's through. He's been able to juke past right now. He's going to get Perfecto.
No way.
It's just Simple left in a 1-on-2. He's grabbed the first and a second headshot for Simple there. NaVi, they'll grab their first pistol in the series, but that one got close.
It got way too close again. Just to reiterate, on Nuke, it was a 5-on-5 open bomb site, and the round just kind of melted in front of them. And now, once again, they find themselves with huge advantages, not checking all the corners, and great setup from the CTs to be fair, but way too close. Ends up in a 2 versus 1 in favor of Team Spirit, and it's Simple who has to deliver a stellar performance with his P250, as you would expect, to be fair. But he had low HP, he was always going to get that second kill. So good stuff. Electronics fired up there.
Yeah, good to see Electronic getting fired up, right? As the captain of the team now, right, or the in-game leader at least, you know, you definitely want to be bringing those type of vibes here. So really good stuff to clutch out that round. Great rotation from Spirit here, but the early stages is where they did their best work. And Chopper, he's been able to infiltrate into the backlines here. Scout tag goes into the side of Simple, chipped on down to 31 points of health here, and a one-way smoke deployed to stall out any aggression coming through. magixx is going to scoop up another nade here, trying to do as much flak damage as possible. The second will connect, and 2 players alone now, looking good for Spirit.
Yeah, you'll see a lot of that on the A-bomb site. Grenades being left for the short and long positions, and magixx, he's actually got a kill here, I would say. Oh, there's so much work towards Someday Young, but it's not quite enough, but still significant. Simple and SDY low, and they've got a 3-man stack towards this A-bomb site. 5 players from NaVi committed, Chad. They've got no other option but to keep going with this.
Yeah, this is a nightmare now, right? If they can get across cleanly and take some of these aim duel fights, that's okay.
I don't like
but
it at
they're
all.
so low, they're just going to get peppered. How has Electronic gotten that? Mag-10 at range onto Patsy. Okay, well, they're in, they're across, but they still need to get control of this bomb site here. Wonderful's being found by Perfecto, continuing to have impact in back-to-back maps. And, well, the boost over the top, magixx trying to finish what he started. Bit's gone down.
Oh, we're not done yet. That's for sure. I think there's another couple of kills here for the CTs. That might decide it, though. Good grenade kill from Simple. And what looked to be a very uncomfortable situation, Chad. You have to say 4 players surviving. It's absolutely fine here. And that was a bit of a force from the CTs as well. They had the scout, the upgraded pistols, armor, utility as well. We saw that double nade stack. And just to talk about that as well, you can now obviously drop your own HE grenades. And that's the most common grenade to be dropped around the map on Dust2. All with the HEs towards A, so you can stack them towards shorter ones when you get those sound cues. And, of course, towards long, like we just saw.
I think right there, one of the keys, right, I'm getting more flustered for NaVi than NaVi were, but in that situation, you've seen it so many times.
Right.
When you take damage to scouts and pistols and you try and cross long, one well-placed flash, and they're in, and, well, speaking of in, we're into some big Simple, just going to stat pad a little bit there. The Mag-10 slays 3.
Yeah.
That's great for him. He's got 4.9k. Electronic going to come through as well. Just going to let these two lead the charge, look for all the frags. Now that Wonderful has been noted, they're going to try and hunt him on down as well. So this is going to be the 3-0 clean start for NaVi here. Both sides should have the AWP coming out into the next.
So Wonderful. Will we bring out the AWP? Potentially, we saw a double AWP setup at the end of Nuke as well. That's always a go-to on Dust2.
Yeah, Patsy was the one before when Dexter was in the team who I saw doing more of the secondary AWPing for the squad and was actually pretty handy on it. So maybe it was just map dependent. Oh, ramp holders on Nuke, you know, they tend to be players who get to pick up the secondary AWP from time to time. Same as, say, like a B anchor here on a map like Dust2. Here we will get into the buys here. Now, we do have NaVi taking on Vitality in this group. That will be going down on Saturday night, I believe, which is basically match of the week in my eyes here. That's a blockbuster fixture. It should be a public holiday every time that Simple and Zai will get to play against each other.
We do get Zai after this series as well, playing against Endpoint. Maybe not quite the tantalizing prospect of that game, but still.
Though, back in the server?
Absolutely, yes. That's going to be great. Wonderful. Fires off that first shot, doesn't connect, and it's still going to be long control granted towards NaVi. Again, heavy A presence, 4 towards this side of the map at the start. Simple almost given an opportunity there.
Yeah, almost around the corner. Blink of an eye could have been the difference there, but I wanted to highlight what you noted before, the dropped HEs. Everybody can see on the radar. We have a feature that's been in the last couple of events. You can see the dropped grenades on the ground, so you can get an idea where they've been stashed and to be deployed.
That's good. That's actually a really nice feature. I wasn't aware of that.
Yeah, it's only been in for the last couple of events, and it goes unnoticed sometimes. We have like Jay and MC as well who like to fly around with these cinematic cams showing us exactly where the stashes are.
Okay, excellent. Well, like we said, it was looking like a heavy long approach. And that's classic NaVi style. They've been doing this for years, getting this long control, sending everyone through, and the flashbang's going to be dropped here. Wonderful. He's completely affected. Actually, maybe isolated at this point. He has to give up his position. 14 HP, make it 0. Someday Young will finish him off, and that's a perfect little set piece to flush the sniper out, and they've got all the control in the world now. Taking 50 damage on SDY. Patsy with his grenades once again, trying to inflict serious damage here. Could actually connect. There's the first. Second, there it is. And now they actually have a fighting chance here. Good utility from Team Spirit so far.
Oh, hot toes right now for Electronic. He's going to be found. Patsy on a bit of a regress there. More util dump towards the site, but now both teams almost completely out of utility. Just a couple of flashes of Molly in the play, and that is perfecto. Pushes forward. Bit's got one as well. Chopper onto the trade. It's just 2 standing. Bit, he's got to get it done, and magixx will close it down. That's going to be the first round for Spirit, and it didn't start great with the burnt out calm position of Paul Wonderful, but they make up for it. That util damage you highlighted, bang on, and then the kills just kept coming. Everybody from Spirit was there to deal with that.
Yeah, that's a really cerebral response from Team Spirit there. The fact they had the presence of mind to stay calm, no one's over pushing, you're waiting for your opportunity. They find the grenade kill, and all of a sudden you're back into the round. That incendiary towards the ramp as well, Chad, from magixx as well.
Yeah.
It was so perfectly placed. They're blind, they're running into it, they're burning away, and then he's just there to mop them up, close things out as well. As we get into round number 5, ladies and gents, money is running thin for NaVi. There's an opportunity to get back into a game. This would be it. Team Spirit are a little bit hamstrung with 2 FAMASs here, but wonderful. He'll be having that AWP, and this time towards short. His adversary Simple, of course. He'll be towards top and middle. No long focus this time from NaVi. Changing things up. Maybe feeling a little bit disheartened after the previous round. It was a very strong hold from Team Spirit, it has to be said.
Yeah, the thing was, I assumed NaVi were going to win that round after the opener because it was just so clean.
Definitely.
And it was quick as well. It's all right, we've got control. The car position is the only thing that can stop us from getting picked. Corner smoke, flash through, perfect. Molly lands just after. That was a really great combination there, but the stall out from Spirit was just as good, if not better.
Really enjoyed that. I hope we see more of those sort of setups coming through. Thinking man's game, I suppose.
Yeah, it's not just a swing around a corner anymore. You know, there's always a thought. It's always a nice little combination of move. And here's another one, exchange of smokes. Lurk smoke from NaVi, immediately negated by one back, right? That's responsive. They're playing a smoke molly defense there over towards B. So that's a great responsive, but the attack appears to still be coming. So Siren to be tested, yet to get a kill, but still early stages. This would be his chance to light up the scoreboard.
A good position. Oh, the missed flash there, and it's going to be definitely a kill here. It's a little discombobulating for NaVi. Not really sure where to look. Chopper still alive in his car position. Looks good for a second. Does at least 60 damage there towards SDY, and we have a 3 versus 3. You'd kind of give this towards NaVi in terms of advantage. Very difficult to retake this bomb site. In terms of grenades, nothing on the CT side, Chad, but they do have kits, and I dare say it's worth a go.
Well, if Simple re-smokes the doors, that might cancel the plans here, because that's going to be another 20 seconds that Spirit have to hold out. And in a lot of these situations now in the late rounds, I like to call it when they go fishing, right? The CT's just hanging around to see if the T's overstep, somebody peeks wider than they should have, and you catch a freebie, and then you can go for it. But right now, no bites, nothing being handed over to Spirit here, and they're just looking to hold on to the goodies.
A little bit scrappy there from NaVi with the missed flash. He thought the FAMAS might be good for 2, but just 1.5, fortunately for them. SDY holds on. And once that bomb's down, you'll see this very often in top-level CS. Just going to be falling back, and great timing from Patsy. Can't win the round, of course, but takes Electronic with him, and another good shot there as well. Patsy will be dropped at the money. Not amazing on the T side. Perfecto of only 3,600. Same story for Bit as well, so simple. Will he be able to drop a rifle? 2,800 as well. Don't buy another grenade. There we go. And we'll see whether this was as scrappy as it felt. So Chopper and Siren opening things up. It was Young that really had to deliver here. Manages to get that all-important second kill, and that's where things started to stabilize.
And it's a big second kill as well, right? Because a lot of players might just step out and expect the trade, but he took his time, right? He made sure he could line up that fire and go for the duel. But the force buy for Spirit behind these saved guns, the AWP to lead the charge is wonderful. Pokes his head up through mid, nobody home. SDY stalled out as well.
He was thinking about it for a second. Twinkle Toes wanted to get into flames, but thinks better of it. And 4-1 for NaVi. A difficult round for the CTs
Run
here.
boost here.
Relying on Wonderful to find some picks, and he might be tested here.
Oh, it's just a boost, not even a run
That's
boost.
an old school, boys. We were doing that about 15 years ago. I love that.
You change the elevation, right? Because
Yeah, exactly.
we didn't have all the same utility. Yeah.
That's crazy. That's taking me right back.
And nothing coming through either side within the first 40 seconds or so of this one. Team Spirit have found themselves in a very standard defense. 2 towards B, 1 floating as the rotation player of Patsy, and 2 towards long. So slightly different here, but they're hoping for a B finish, right? You park the AWP towards the back of platform. If they go mid to B, if he can transition to window, sure. But if they go A, he's completely out of the play here. So the Orc very committed to this, and as we can see, NaVi are just taking space throughout the map.
They're posturing right now, but I dare say they might end up with a B split themselves here. They're going to explore shore, which is standard for a B split. You want to push any CT presence back there, make sure they don't have the information. But I dare say they're going to be ending up towards B. And here it comes through the middle doors. They do a double smoke, presumably.
So there's a chance on this.
And Wonderful, like you said, the back plat position. Siren not with the best gun. And he will be found out, but does a boatload of damage at 99 towards Bit. Electronic hit for 55, and in towards the B side they go. The first no-scope connects, and we needed a little bit more, Chad, to get a bit more excited. But there it is, 4-on-3. Round pretty much done once again for the same reasons we already stated in the previous. And might as well be looking for those exits once again.
Poor Siren right there. There's only a few weapons that I would say would be worse for the job than how he found himself having to fight mid to B with that.
With a little.
Yeah, and a lot of damage, great, but with a FAMAS, maybe he gets one, maybe that buys some time. Chopper with a little bit of a fight will take down Perfecto here. And the one-man standing of magixx with that M4 in hand, making his way over towards T-Spawn. So yeah, a moment of excitement there, but NaVi continue the winning ways, 5-1. We'll chipped away at a little bit, but nothing to really report here. Now, look, Pro League, it goes for 5 weeks. We've got you every single day. We've got 3 best-of-3s a day, Wednesday through Sunday. On Sunday, all 3 best-of-3s will be played simultaneously for competitive integrity purposes, so that the group outcome cannot be skewed. But yeah, the Counter-Strike is non-stop when Pro League's on. And if you're at home and you're joining us and, you know, you got us on the back on the telly or whatever, you want to chip on in, there's going to be plenty of fun stuff for you to get involved with. I've heard of a couple of things the desk have got ready and raring to go.
Any more stunts, Chad? Or?
No more stunts from me this week, at least.
You filled your quota?
Yeah, 1 a week they have. But we also are going to be trying, right? I want to make sure everyone's clear on this, to get players to come and join us here on the cast.
Well, you sent out a tweet, I should say, and I feel like we can make that happen.
Yeah.
Once everyone gets a bit more comfortable with the 4-man seas, it's maybe a bit more fun than other tournaments. You can come have a chat with us. We're not doing anything too intense in the booth right now, as Siren will be tested. Not a B rush, but definitely a B execution here with a couple of basic smokes. Flashes coming in from Simple as well. Absolutely lovely. And that's the M4 dispatched up. magixx will be dropped from Young from the top of middle. And just Patsy and the aforementioned Chopper, he'll be removed.
Yeah, I think one of the things as well throughout this season, I'm going to be trying to, I think, bring to the forefront, and maybe we could do it in conjunction with the desk when they do some skybox breakdowns and whatnot, is one of the details, and maybe it doesn't go overlooked, but at the highest level of Counter-Strike, what you're expected to have in your brain at all times is actually kind of absurd, right? The amount of utility that these players need to know at this level, different places to throw the exact same smoke from, all the pop flashes.
And aware of your opponent's tendencies around all of that as well, right? You have to remember team-by-team basis.
It's a library that these guys are carrying around now, and the way that I've been referencing it in more recent times is the players of today have an in-game leader brain of 5 years ago, right?
Sure.
Because everybody needs to understand the reactions, the little moves. You need to make sure, and that's why they all have the notes, right? They're constantly reading what they need to be doing.
That's what I've noticed. I was about to say, it used to just be, even a few years ago, just the in-game leader of a notebook, but now I think everyone requires their notes, and it's for good reason. You want to make sure that you have a vast array of strategies for different scenarios, and everyone can remember what they're doing and what has to be done and the protocols around those. So, yeah, the game's definitely evolving. You've got to keep up and stay on top of things from a theory point of view. As we get into round number 8, ladies and gentlemen, a full buy here. I haven't seen many of them as Team Spirit are getting absolutely walloped here. 6-1 in their CT side.
They're biting hard on this long. There was multiple flashes and the corner smoke, and they're trying to retake control, but already up catwalk is going to be that electronic. SD1's denied. He's going to call this out, and even some spam damage through. So look at them. They're probing short and they're probing mid. They understand this CT setup exactly.
Bit is in a very dangerous position, and a missed shot from Wonderful. That would be everything, but at least gets the information towards the B players. We can see we have got Wonderful getting our first kill. Siren, unfortunately, can't do much at all on his chopper. Same story as that B bomb site. It's just over. A lot of presence towards A. They were going for that long retake on the CT side, but it was too late. Bit was already out towards middle, and even though he was spotted, he was just too late. He gained too much ground on the map, and it's such a nuisance to deal with. B splits like that, horrible.
And you don't fault Wonderful there for that missed shot. The ooh comes from, if he hits that shot, well, then Bit doesn't walk into B and get 2 kills. Exactly like that, right? So a little bit unfortunate there. And you understand why Spirit bites hard. When NaVi throw a corner smoke and 4 flashes, you're expecting a little bit of something behind it.
As I mentioned before, we've been seeing them for years. I mean, these long takes that have started around, they get the spawn, they'll likely take it. Your back's to the wall right now. You've got a limited buy. You just wanted to see whether you could take them down from that commitment. But yes, a really nice call there. Electronic, the in-game leader, will be going down, but it's all in vain for Team Spirit. It's now going to be 7-1 in favor of NaVi. And if you are just joining us, it was the pick of Team Spirit Nuke to kick things off. And the CT started NaVi, even though they started 5-1 down, they looked very comfortable towards the end, and even more so here on their pick of Dust2.
I wonder if we will ever go a Pro League season where there's no upsets. Could you imagine, right? If like all the teams that we expect to get to the playoffs get to the playoffs, like that could be, because if Vitality come through today and they take care of business against Endpoint and they look like they're playing some quality Counter-Strike, the NIP versus Fnatic Swedish derby.
Yeah, absolutely, Chad.
Are we going to keep that one going?
Yeah, fine. Endpoint is still UK, you know, so yeah, we're doing that.
Well, we're going to hold on to that for the rest of our time, but that right there is an interesting matchup in itself. I think a very important matchup for NIP later today. I'm excited to see the new Fnatic. I was a bit displeased with the previous iteration, but this new one I have some hopes for, which I guess I'll curse them and they'll end up doing nothing. But the new team looks very solid, I think, with Nikodos, Roy in there, Mezzi in leading.
Man. It's one of those teams you like, it might not look like much on paper when you break it down and understand those players and how much hard work that we're putting in. And they've got a lot to prove, right? It's a prestigious organization. Results are expected. They know they've got to deliver. That lineup for last year has been underwhelming, to say the least, but I think this is a very good-looking Fnatic, and I really think they can shine in Pro League.
Yeah, well, they were able to get through to the RMRs, right? We have Road to Rio on the way.
Their second attempt, right?
Yeah, so it's not easy to qualify in the gauntlet of the online stuff for the RMRs, but they've been able to get there, and well, we've been able to get back towards long. So the first 55 seconds, you didn't miss anything. All 5 alive. You two been dispelled either side as this creepy crawly maneuver that did work for NaVi once upon a time.
Up.
Yeah, I think if they just bide their time on this and isolate the fights. Look at this extra layer of utility. He's crept across and he's throwing bloody Molotovs from the A ramp.
They presumably saw the trajectory, though, of the Molotov, so they'll know he's there to some extent. It's magixx with that pistol that goes down, and now just toying with that food, it seems. There is a Patsy on the A bomb site. He gets 1 kill, needs a double at least. Are you committing to that part, Electronic? No, he's certainly not. Gets himself the 4th kill of the round. Wow. And a clean finish as Siren just jumps up and offers himself to the gods at that point. 8-1.
I think here, the detail, I would love it if Yanko and Kassad would look at it around like that. I know it's only against an eco, but you can see the details because they did the double long cross to get Bit across long, but then they did a deeper CT smoke and they had a second wave of utility. And this is the layers right now. Once upon a time, 2 long smokes and you'd cross and a couple of flashes, maybe a molly towards the sight box, maybe you'd smoke short from the long position. But you're seeing a different layer here from NaVi in their approach. And that's great. You want to continue to have as many of those details as humanly possible. Double AWPs are out now. Wonderful and Patsy are donning either or.
And this is going to be Wonderful finding that first kill. It's against his Rival sniper in the form of Simple there, 5 versus 4. We have got a slight sound issue here. We are just working on that.
Yeah, I'm calling them up. I'm getting them on the line here.
It's all good. And a little bit of confusion there, but it's still a 4 versus 3. This time in favor of Team Spirit and the double AWP setup. Wonderful. And Patsy, as Chad mentioned, has always been the go-to secondary AWP up. And we'll pump the brakes on the NaVi side. Getting ready for an Xbox smoke here from Perfecto. Making their way towards shore, presumably. They have still got the option for long control, but like we said, up against the double AWPs there, could be a bit of a problem. Chopper has been very good at tucking himself into these advantageous positions. This time towards shore, but he actually is going to swing off it a little bit. Does he go for the kill top and middle? It sounds suggestive, Will. I'm not going to
We're in the future right now, Henry.
There it is.
Yeah, this is where it does get slightly jarring, but all in all, 3-on-3, over towards A they go. Oh no, they don't. Back towards middle here, dropping out some utility, and Perfecto has a glance out mid. If you head back towards the B bomb site, you've got a world of hurt coming your way. Siren has been able to infiltrate the upper tunnels. He's pushed through towards the T side, so they're trying to funnel them towards this AWP of Patsy here over towards the car position.
They are, but it's still a lot of responsibility. One player here, sure, he's got the AWP, but he needs at least a kill. And then to try and stay alive for a good 10 seconds afterwards, and he'll get nothing but looks at things. Being surrounded, it's bit to take him down. Huge frag, 3-on-2, and the CT's left in disarray once again. They could go for it, but it's just not looking good, is it? You got the AWP on the other side of the map, joined by Siren as well. Might as well save that. But this really is getting out of hand. This first half, 9-1 in favor of the favorites. And nice flashbang attempt, but yields nothing. And not really worth going for it. But I can hear AWP shots being fired off. I assume it's going to be bit taken down.
There we go. See, look at this. Maybe we can use it as a superpower. We won't tell anybody.
I'm trying to, yeah.
We can get every call that we're about to make correct here. That could be the play to make. This was... Young lad, wonderful, looking over the cusp of the smoke.
Simple, right?
Ooh, hello.
This was when the confusion started for me. I couldn't really keep up with the action, but there we go. It was Simple top and middle. And still great job from NaVi. This is looking very comfortable, Chad. Like, from those rounds we saw, the first round, Spirit won with that great utility usage. We haven't seen many moments like that. They're getting overrun now, and you can see the frustration starting to sink in. As it's round 11. Double AWP setup still available. MP9 for Chopper, though. Not a big deal. He can make that work on a map like Dust2, no problem.
Probably prefers it at this point.
I think so. When you're down and out like this, having a more agile weapon, I suppose, and getting stuck in is not at the end of the world.
But in this moment, if I'm NaVi, I'm expecting something that's a bit more tonal, right? For them to be able to force the issue here, take a fight, exactly like this, right? You need to start dictating. And the fact that Wonderful's happy to take that fight, Simple now in the grave, a 4-on-5 situation for him to sit back and stomach. Long control being contested here. SDY, lucky to be alive. In space for bit. It's been taken, and the headshots going to follow through. Good shot there from magixx at range. Patsy, Wombo combo. You run into my AWP now.
Well, Sunday Young 7 HP. Perfecto in towards those B tunnels. Just around where Team Spirit needs to keep everyone alive at this stage. Keep all 5 alive. The half's not over. You've still got a lot of rounds to be played here. If you can bring it back to 9-6, that's a pretty decent half on the CT side, especially when the underdogs here. And this will be 9-2, but we'll see whether Siren can keep this one clean. The smoke will fade, the fight will come in, and Perfecto is dropped. And as we mentioned, Sunday Young, he'll be waiting on 7 HP and just trying to hold on to the AWP. Cash, of course, is very strong on the T side. Maybe he can just go for some damage here. Likely he dies regardless.
Yeah, so it's a bit of a rough spot to find himself in here. Chopper, he's not going to want to take a third AWP, is he? Let's see if he can get over towards this AK. Where is it? Where's the AK? There it is. Okay. But fortunately, he's able to scoop that one up.
3 AWPs is a bit much, isn't it?
Yeah, the triple AWP setup, right? Maybe back in our day during CGS, you may have had triple AWPs.
Oh, for sure,
you know, when we had 16K.
It was encouraged back then.
Yeah, it was kind of wild. You know, and we had a lot of good AWPers in the CGS back then.
Well, in CS Source, you do well not to be a good AWPer.
True,
much easier.
Yeah, bigger targets.
Yeah, you can bunny off. There wasn't much recoil at all when he pulled the AWP out.
You see this here, right? The fact that this young gun right here, Wonderful, is happy to take a fight like that in mid against Simple, it says a lot, right? Normally as a CT, taking that fight can be quite difficult. Well, okay, Simple, he's had enough.
He really has, but I still believe in Siren. I think he can cause some damage here, especially the AK-47. Gets one through the smoke. Not the target he was aiming for, but it'll certainly count. And magixx, that's towards long. Sunday Young will meet his maker.
At some point, you got to go for these, though, right?
True.
You have to start going for some of these retakes.
I think you have to. I think you were dead on there, Chad. I think this is the round you can't just say, let's just save our weapons. It's too far gone. Let's give it a go. Try and do some damage, which Chopper has done. He'll be aware of that, the default plan. And yeah, it looks like they might be going for it. I don't want to speak too soon, but here's Wonderful. The Molotov's coming in. Let's go for it, lads. We've got the AKs, we've got the AWP. We need a bit of luck, but let's go for it.
Yeah, Wonderful's about to flash, and they're going to go. in his hands right now.
Has to be that round. It's obviously going to be difficult, but the retakes on Nuke with Stella. If they can replicate that form, there's a chance.
There's a bit of time here as well. So they're biting it. There's a kit. The flash comes over.
Not good enough.
Didn't come over at all. What am I talking about? Bits got one, Simple the other here, and just the last man standing, the AWP, looking to save, looking to do some damage.
He can't. Oh, I spoke too soon. Simple will be trying to remove him from the equation, and Mr. Wonderful, he is out, as we'll see double digits here for NaVi. A difficult round to swallow there, and they still had cash. It wasn't like a be-all and end-all round. Team Spirit could afford to go for that retake. We liked that decision. Good to see, but didn't work out from the flashbang, just not quite effective enough.
No, I don't think it even went over the wall. You know, I'm talking about it going over. They didn't even make it the distance right there.
Kind of limped in, didn't it?
Yeah, and look, this one here was great from Siren, even though that wasn't the target he was aiming at. Gave them at least something to try and march their way back into this, but just pedestrian now, I would say, for NaVi. Going through the paces at this point. Isolated as Perfecto. The nade, not too shabby. The spam, not on the mark. Perfecto's still alive and even gets the kill on Chopper. So much pressure right there on Perfecto, and all he has to do is line him up, knock him down, and the in-game leader for Spirit has to sit and watch because magixx is still trying to avenge him. Perfecto contained towards this blue bin position. This could be a bit of a standoff here as around the corner of the smoke. magixx needs to clear his angles as we're going in towards B. Siren to be tested again. We've seen this corner once before. He's grabbed 2 kills. This time he's stopping them before they can get too far into the site. Simple has got one back. magixx eventually deals with Perfecto, and now it's a 2-on-3 situation.
Well, make it 1. Just some die young, quite far removed from the situation right now, but still in with a shout. It's not completely done and dusted considering there's a double orb set up here. One missed shot does give him an opportunity. So, creeping his way towards the back platform, and that's the shot we're looking for, Chad. Sensational from SDY.
And he has time as well. He has still 45 seconds left on the clock. He just scooped up a smoke here. That would be fantastic towards doors to try and facilitate a way in. A flash as well. And
quite good enough, though.
Yeah, wonderful. Is he going to hit a shot like this? This is definitely a difficult one to do so. The jump across, there you go, with a 360 for style points. Henry, do you think SDY's? No, he doesn't. I was going to say, do you think he's got this one? I didn't catch the magixx flank. The
magixx flank
definitely doesn't have that
magixx seems to be in the right place at the right time most of the time, to be honest with you. But decent effort there, has to be said. That great shot towards the back platform. He cracks the bomb site wide open, and indeed the round. But it's going to be 10-3. That's the headline. Team Spirit are back in this half. They have to win these next couple of rounds to start convincing us maybe they can actually take the map back and maybe take us to overtime, something like that. But NaVi's still looking very to be comfortable. As we'll see, one of the first few NaVi buys that isn't fully equipped. Bits on towards the Galil, a few concessions on the grenades, but overall pretty healthy. But this will be the round that will lead them to pistols in the final one.
Yeah, I think here, right, either way, whoever loses this, it's probably going to be Team Spirit to save if they lose the bomb site early because they want to carry something into that last round of play. So this round is very important. Team Spirit, off the back of this conversion, likely to get themselves to 5. NaVi could change that tune and have a 12-3 half if they convert right now. So push back off the line, but not completely relinquishing control. Wonderful is staying forward in a ready-to-peek position. Closed doors cleared. A standard util set there, and very aware that Wonderful may re-peek right now.
Well, some would say he has to keep it up. He has been nice and aggressive here. Not the pacifist I was expecting, especially against Simple as well. That can be quite a mental challenge, knowing you're up against one of the world's best. And he's been doing a great job. He's gone back towards that car position right now. Good grenade. We talked about those stack grenades toward this part of the map. Plenty more that came from, I'm sure. Smoke's deployed, and Bit might be setting himself up for a jump down towards spawn. Thinks better of it.
I don't think electronic smoke landed where it was meant to. I don't think the one-way's landed correctly here.
It's a little bit all over the place here, but Perfecto trying to bait out any sort of grenade or reaction. Here it comes, a drop down. Oh, that's the bait and switch. It worked out for them. Showing that presence towards middle, taking the attention away from CT spawn. Electronic jumps down, and now that kill could have secured the round, but magixx will hold on to it as usual. Patsy responds in kind, and it's actually going to be an advantage towards Team Spirit.
All right, well, the retake situation on now. magixx making his way out with that orb, overseeing business of Wonderful from behind. Short control to be taken, and Simple needs to hit this one. Siren deletes him from the server. They know towards CT spawn and just continuing to collect these kills one after the other.
Good
Fall
round.
into the hands of Spirit there. Bit's the only one to put up resistance on the retake, and the double orbs can be preserved. All the goodies can be picked up, and fantastic stuff for Spirit here to make this one a bit more of a competitive half here. 10-5 looking likely now.
And it was uncomfortable as well. They had that nice little bait and switch from NaVi, showing the mid presence with the smokes going down, making footsteps, flicking the knife, smacking the wall with it as well. And that's when the electronic could drop down, find that first kill. But that was a 5-on-4 for NaVi, but it's still just disintegrated in front of their eyes. It's magixx who answered back, then Siren taking down Simple in this position. That's the key frag of the round, that's for sure. It's Patsy, that double AWP setup, as you mentioned. Very comfortable stuff here. Team Spirit needed a lot more of this earlier in the half, but they should be able to close this last one out. As you mentioned, the money would be broken. There's no plant coming through. Doesn't matter the rush. He's got the bomb towards T-Spawn, and wonderful. Once again, he opens things up down to 7 HP, make it 0. That's beautiful from Simple, but Patsy keeps the round in their favor.
Might try and run Patsy down here. That flash is good. Across through the doors quickly here in Electronic. A beautiful play. That's heads up. They knew the AWP was there. They took the fight. That is really quick counter-strike from NaVi to put them back into a 3-on-3.
Well then, plenty of time on the board as well. And some die young with the scouts. He absolutely eviscerates Chopper. Cuts him down to size, and we will see a 3-on-2. And this was the round they came in with scouts, MAC-10s, pistols, and a couple of AKs. The scout is set out to play, but maybe he needs to stay, because if it's hitting shots like that, who needs another weapon?
And look at this as well. magixx has given up the A bomb site completely here. So they're hedging their bets that it will be either a B or mid to B finish. And Siren pushing upper, magixx through the mid doors. They know they've gambled incorrectly right now. They're going to be hot on the tail here, though, and that could be the undoing of NaVi in a round like this. magixx already jumped up short. He has a HE in his hands. That will not stall out the plant, and the cover is here, but Perfecto not looking the right way at the right time, gets dinked, and eventually gets finished off. 2-on-2 now. Oak denies. Flash available. Siren can flash magixx through this if they want to go quicker, but he's rotated around to long.
It's a difficult one. A round where you thought Team Spirit had this locked in, but great shots, great individual skill from NaVi have led them to an advantageous 2 versus 2. They are now, and the scout doesn't connect, and we'll see them start to get ran down, but that's going to be surely it. It's up to Siren, has hit some great shots in this series, but they'll challenge him together, and it's 11-4. NaVi already a map up and looking like they can take this one 2-0. Chad, do you think there's a chance of Team Spirit?
It's looking way too casual right there. Simple just handed out a fist bump, looking very stoic at this one. NaVi looking to take care of business in 2 maps and set themselves up pretty here at ESL Pro League for Season 16.
Пацаны, кто второй? Он дает флешку и пикает потом. Со старта меня убил, понял?
Я так и делаю, да.
Расхуяриваю. Не, я говорю, он так делает.
Флэш.
Я вообще не боюсь, я буду пожим убивать.
Тише, краб. Молли дали? Не убил. Я флешил. Убил еще один. Годим.
Got deja vu here as an even exchange leaves us with a 4-on-4. Masuta, this is brave. The flash is a bit of an indicator for Perfecto to be on high alert. Here goes NaVi just chipping away at the fully bought up vitality.
Yeah, they're B splitting now. There are no shocks is isolated on that side. Kyogen can't push long.
Он спалил. Он один все еще. Он развей.
Давай.
Я на флешку перед выходом дал. Он смоки дал, вышел вниз.
Это он, нет?
Второй, нет, второй.
Сдай 5.
Дал в мой.
Ворота, он один.
Возможно.
Я не могу пройти.
Дай смог, 33.
У тебя.
Дашь смог. 2
дашь, я 33.
Я ставлю.
БТшка, БТшка.
Бомба закрыта.
БТшка, он знает об этом.
Окей.
У тебя есть гранаты? Молик есть.
Я буду окно лезть, братан.
Лезь окно.
Возможно, с матом. Аккуратнее, ворот. Возьми флешку. Здесь.
Второй был. ЛП. Он думает, что будет лес. Умница.
Умничка, Валера.
Welcome back to the sunny Mediterranean shores of Malta. Chad and I have called this island home for about 3 years now, and it's great to see world-class Counter-Strike being played, and hopefully it's going to lead to amazing finals, amazing playoffs. Chad, we've got 5 weeks of this to look forward to.
And a couple of
get a tan, that would be nice.
Get out there by the pool. They can get a little bit of sunbathing going on. The sea's not too far away.
You need to stay out of the sea, Chad. I've already rescued you once.
That's true. My swimming, it needs to be brushed up upon, I believe.
Well, here we go then. Team Spirit on the back foot for sure. Map down and 11-4 down in the second here. They go for a long push. Bit of damage exchange, but not a boatload of it, and they will get granted long control.
Odds are blown out here as well. NaVi,
Indeed.
even the heavier favorites now as per 1xbet. Now, this is interesting. magixx throwing some util over towards the mid doors here. You can see that one going to be blooming.
Oh, Simple isolated here.
Very much so.
He's done for. Wow, they threw the actual...
Hinge smoke from long door and then Molly Cat to take it. So they got long control to take mid. And now they've got short. So things looking good for Spirit here.
Yeah, it absolutely is. What a start. Flushing Simple out. It's down to that utility once again. It's granted them a few rounds at Electronic. It's bought some space here, and this is a key jewel. Wonderful needs to be careful. He has the P250. And yeah, it's got the kill as well. 5 versus 3 as the CT to push back toward the B side. Say CT to Singular, just bit here now.
Oh, wow. Facto tries to save him out here, but Bit maybe doesn't need any saving. 2 kills for him. He's under a lot of pressure, and magixx will find the final. It's just Electronic now, and he stopped the bomb. Oh, it was looking good.
Yeah,
it was looking good.
That could have been everything there, but it's still a very interesting round. What a smoke that is, Chad.
Yeah, the combo was really nice to deal with the aggressive short presence, right? Not only do you get the hinge smoke from a bit more of an unorthodox position.
The Molotov was well to the right. Like, Simple had nowhere to go. The flashbang came in. Just beautiful.
He was completely pinned. So this is the thing. So far, in the 2 maps of Counter-Strike we've had, Spirit have won 3 out of the 4 pistols.
Indeed.
So their pistol work has been good after... Well, we missed the high fives, but there was no... That didn't have the same pressure there. There was no eye lock.
Oh, you hate to see that, don't you?
Yeah. Well, maybe that's telling of the game so far, but the pistol round is going to help. Xbox smoke has bloomed. But this is looking like a very standard default spread here out of the gates from Team Spirit.
Yes, indeed. Simple with that scout. He's got himself a helmet as well. In terms of grenades, it's a couple of smokes and a bit of a default here from Team Spirit. Getting out the map. Feeling quite comfortable though, as we'll see. Simple just trying to get some information here, spamming off some USP shots as he jumps across. Grenades being exchanged at this stage and no real damage towards the terrorists until we do see Simple open things up through the door. That's going to be Chopper, and now they'll start to reposition. Ideally, Simple wants to get towards A and start challenging as they make their way up towards shorts.
Oh, they're trying to be quick about this one here, trying to get ahead of the rotation that's coming on through a bit. Not going to be able to do a whole lot from this position. Molly is going to force him back into a bit more of an aggressive line. The flash to try and help him as well, and that's a huge shot from Bit. Wonderful in the dirt here, a 3-on-5 situation. This was just a force spy coming out of NaVi, and the kills are going to keep on coming.
Well, it's going to be Perfecto and Co towards short, and another kill goes in favor of NaVi. 5 versus 2, and we'll see them actually getting chopped down the side. It's going to be Patsy and magixx answering back here. Is it going to be enough? It might be. magixx trying to hold on here, and it's going to be the scout to try and close things out. Oh. It sounds like a defuse is already happening, so yes, I think he's pulled it off, and there it is. SDY will confirm the round. There's plenty of time to do so. Great stuff there. Simple once again with that scout. Him and Wonderful were going toe-to-toe in such an exceptional manner.
Yeah, the thing that happens here is, I'll give you, because this happened last season as well, we seem crazy because for everybody at home it's normal. It's just for us.
Sure.
So we're the ones who are in like the twilight zone of no idea what's going on.
So everyone else is looking normal?
Everyone else, right? It's normal sound, and it's, for us, it's like a little bit...
the worst of both worlds.
Exactly, right? Exactly. If everybody was in on the joke, you know, it'd be okay. But we're the ones being pranked right now.
Okay, all right. Well, we'll do what we can.
That's all we could ever do.
That's all we could ever do.
That's all we can ever do.
So, Glocks across the board, any P250s?
A flash, though. No, we got to highlight the utility here. Look at this $200 beautiful little flashbang.
Could do a lot. If it blinds 2 players, it gets you 1 kill here. We're expected to get 0. Oh, Bit, you need to get that gun out, son. There's the kill. Like we said, 1 kill would be fine. If they somehow get more than that, that would be great. But that's pretty much all it was worth. 13-5, a scary scoreline to say the very least.
Perfecto's life was worth $200 there, right? The $200 flashbang, gone. Yeah. Remove all that good stuff that he had purchased on up. And now we will be seeing the buy come out for Spirit here. No AWP available for Wonderful in a round like this, understandably so. And they will get the AKs and one Galil on Chopper. Chopper jumping down mid. He's going to opt to mob the Molotov. This is stalling out the lower dark play, but Simple's going to use it. Actually extinguishes, pushes straight up mid. Look at this, surging very far forward is Simple right now. He has so much room to work with. I don't know if they're going to account for this. Oh, he's going to hear all the footsteps over towards spawn. He can comp all that information out towards his team. The bomb being dropped. This is huge.
Is he satisfied, though, with his position? Does he want to go a little bit more aggressive? It's actually perfect, though, to be fair to him. If he can stay here, no one's looking at this.
Not at all.
And he doesn't need to take the first shot on the target. He can wait for 2 or 3. That's a bit of intel.
He wasn't spotted on the jump either.
There's the kill. But like I said, he doesn't have to go for that first shot. That's the bomb, and now he really is delivering here. Looking towards long. He'll go down, but still ruffled enough feathers there. Exactly.
They had all the info, dropped the bomb, has thrown the round in complete disarray. Team Spirit are like, we didn't know that was even possible. They were still trying to work on short control, and now they have a smoke, 2 flashes, and a molly.
It's not a done deal, but like I said, feathers ruffled, and whatever they had in mind in terms of the execution completely foiled at this point, right? They don't have the opportunity to drop the same sort of smoke, same sort of play they could do before. magixx, Wonderful, and Siren group up. I think they're going to take a deep breath and try and make their way towards A. The smoke will be dropped here. At least there's not too much presence here. It's the M4 from Bit. A couple of standard smokes in the Molotov towards CT spawn. If he gets one, the round's done, I would say, but there's a chance he might not get anything out of this. Gets the ding towards Wonderful. Rebuy some space. Flashbang comes in.
He's across now. Wonderful's low. He could easily blow this one over. Bomb's getting planted. The rotations here, they're pinned on in towards the site right now. As Spirit, they're going to need to fight their way out of this. They have very little room and less now. Bit and Electronic both strike. magixx has one back here, 6 points of health to his name. He's in a lot of trouble. Have to hit some absolute bangers in the first. Not too bad. Perfecto put down to 9. He even got the kill on Electronic.
He's looking very good today. But watch out for him in this group. magixx, like, he goes under the radar, I guess, in the conversation usually, but he's always been a fantastic fragger. And a great shift he's put in on both maps here. The round doesn't go in their favor. It's all in vain, I suppose, in that respect. But it is going to be NaVi 14 and Team Spirit 5, and they don't really have enough for a buy. This is one of those rounds, though, like, we can't recover at 15-5. We're going to have to buy with what we have.
Yeah, it's an issue, right? And normally you want to have a pocket strat for something like this. So if you do go for a half buy, which is looking like the investment now, you want to have a pocket strat. And on a map like Dust2, maybe that could come with good long spawns. Here's the problem. They don't have good long spawns right now.
No,
so they're going to have to operate.
spawns, though.
Yeah, but... Look,
and there's only one player there.
Okay, here we go. The positives. We're slowly filling the pros and cons column right now for Team Spirit.
There's a chance. The Tech-9, like we said, it's a snowball weapon. You get that first kill, things can get out of control pretty quickly. It becomes an avalanche. You know how that goes. But they do not go for the fast B play.
The rotation started to come in here as well.
Yeah, as well. Now the CTs are actually readjusting things.
They might try and do one of two things here. Try and force a bit of short presence, right? They've already seen Simple there early, but push him back and then go for a standard play. Or they'll do like mid crisscross smokes with utility also on the B bomb site. Right now, no clear indication other than the fact that Patty has this short control and the rest of them not too far behind. So making steps over towards the tunnels, but look how NaVi have read this. They have 3 players residing quite literally inside the B-bomb site.
Yeah, good point. And this smoke as well just make things even more delectable for them. So now 2 smokes they have to get through. And in terms of the setup, 4 towards middle at least. So it can be interesting pressure, but with 3 CTs there, you can't imagine a world where they give this one up. You'd have to take something very special indeed, and that's the start of it, perhaps, as we'll see the first kill from that Tech-9 come through. Bit and Perfecto need to light them up here, but this is actually getting out of control. 3 versus 3. The Tech-9s are doing serious work. They actually have the advantage, Chad.
That should not have happened. What? Electronic. What happened right there? Looked the wrong way. Caught with the pants down, and now they have to try and retake this situation. The bomb's just been planted and not looking and not checking the corners once more. Simple's dead, and what should have been a gimme has fallen in the favor of Spirit here. SDY is just going to look to stay alive. I can't believe that.
Well, you better believe it, Chad, because it's real. It's Team Spirit with the Tech-9s and running into a bomb site with a full stack there, fully equipped and pretty much aware as well. Couldn't find the kills and they get absolutely overwhelmed. And there it is. Siren will be closing things out. Some Die Young will be removed, and they're back in this.
I'm slightly perplexed still, because it wasn't even like there was an AWP on site that missed a shot and they were able to scour space. It was just a turn at an odd time. You could see Electronic there, maybe hearing the utility going down upper dark, trying to turn from a flash at that time, but he put himself in the open, and his death, that's the one that sucks the most, because he could have just stalled them out before they got to window or that door position. And then Chopper's still aggressive, a nice one there. Okay, is it a lifeline? Well, they've started something because NaVi can't buy. So it could be the beginning of something, or it could just be a nice little couple of rounds on the way out the door to a 2-0 victory for NaVi. That's the most likely of these two, but let's see if they've got anything left in the tank.
In terms of the setup, going with the 5-man A stack, why not?
So here's that hinge smoke again from magixx, and here's the same
So he does the Molotov as well,
before.
so it's a little one-man execution. So the Molotov designed to keep any CTs at bay to have over aggressive the AWP or the pistol like we saw. You lock them in, and you get all of this control for free, essentially. You can't peek middle anymore, right?
I like it too, because they don't have to go back to T-spawn to do that. They're doing it from the safety of their long control.
You have to forgive me, Chad. I've been at the game for a while, but we haven't seen that sequence before, have we?
We've seen ZywOo throw the smoke from pit. He had like a super geeky lineup, and I knew that there was a similar one.
I've seen Elise do it from outside long doors. That's about it as well, I think.
Yeah, that to me seems like magixx has been in the lab. He's
I think a lot of people will be taking notes of that one. That's a really sick little sequence, a little one-man execute that gets full mid control and pushes the CTs back. Speaking of that, it will be wonderful dispatching of the opposition here.
Beautiful.
3 kills with the Glock, and he'll be very happy with that. He's had a great showing here, even though the scoreline's been skewed in favor of NaVi. The players you'd like to show up for this team, magixx, and of course, wonderful. He's looked great. Patsy a little bit quieter than we'd like. I know you're a big fan of him. You've been telling me all week this is the guy to look out for. He's not been bad by any stretch, but he hasn't been like the star player we'd hoped for.
But it's always, with his play style, right, it's difficult to get yourself into the mix of a lot of the situations.
Right.
And you've seen it with players who we label as X-Factor players or more aggressive players in the past, right? Because those type of moves, once people know what to expect from you, if you're the type of guy who always pushes a smoke, or if you're the type of guy that always goes for this type of a play, people start to understand that. Now, I don't know if that's what's happening here, but either way, we're not getting the level of Patsy that we've seen in the past. But this is great from Wonderful here. And yeah, sure, it's Glock versus individuals with no armor, but under pressure, has an AWP to hand over. There's a lot on the line in that situation.
That's not just the kill itself. You give the AWP over to a player like Simple, all of a sudden that round can fall apart, even on a full eco. That does happen more often than you think in top-level CS. Come in with almost nothing, USPs and maybe a flash, you can win those rounds. It's not common, but it does happen quite often. We'll see what happens here, as it's still quite a hamstrung purchase from NaVi. The MP9 for Electronic, the distinct lack of utility is what's leaping off the page for me right now, and 1 defuse kit.
I guess contrasting that, Team Spirit have already bled 30 seconds off the clock and haven't used any utility whatsoever. Just 1 piece from magixx. As I say that, more is slowly being deployed. Util over long and just straight out. Waltzing out into SDY's domain. Great little check there from magixx. A number advantage here to turn the screws on Simple on A, who, well, he's not on his own, but he may as well be with the position he finds himself in.
Oh, not the MP9.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Well, what's Electronic meant to defend with an MP9 from sight while the AWP's stuck in no man's land? Simple had to have his head on a swivel right there. And this is the 8th round for Spirit.
I feel like Bit can do some damage here, though. They don't seem to be fully aware of its presence. But it looks like he yields, and he will be falling back to save the weapon. But still, there was maybe a chance for a couple of kills, but a 5-on-2. Very good stuff from Team Spirit once again. magixx playing like a man possessed out there.
Yeah, very hard clear. So I wonder if it's either watching the demos and seeing the way that they like to play that position, because he just swung, ready for that pit fight. So
totally.
Really good stuff. Again, still just trying to work them back into the game.
I guess sometimes like the standard protocols, like if you do them every single time and they know you're going to flash, they're seeing the flash come over, that's what those kind of setups are for. When you just kind of change things up and go for a dry exchange like that, it's surprising, you know. It's like you kind of scream, well, what are these people doing?
Yeah.
But it's like, it's just that surprise element that comes through. If you can hit your shots and you're feeling it, that's a really nice opening for magixx, and it leads them to a round victory. A very clean one at that. All 5 players survive here. Bit and Perfecto have no choice to save their weaponry outside the B tunnels. And a lot of work to do here. We're not getting too excited yet, but still. 14-8 in favor of NaVi. Already a map up, but this is their pick. They're on the CT side now. 2 more rounds would do it. 1 more, in my eyes, would kind of secure it in terms of just get the job done. We just need that 1 more round. But you have to say, Team Spirit are holding on. They're fighting tooth and nail right now, and their stars are shining brightly when we really need them to.
Yeah, they're going to have to do a lot more of this. And we've got Blade on the mic here. He's received a lot of praise since NaVi's rise to power.
Absolutely. All the players seem to look to him as almost a father figure. They say they can go speak to him one-on-one. And I think that's totally understandable, right? He's a legend of the game in many different iterations of CS across the years.
Played with most of them.
He's played with most of them, exactly, yeah. And he seems to be always behind them, always working hard and coming up with new stuff and working with these younger players as well. So great to see. And in terms of the buy for round number 23, not much, just those save them fours there, which is probably the correct approach here. If they keep force buying into these rounds and trying to close it out early, Chad, they'll find themselves in a very compromised position quickly.
And that's probably the conversation Blade just had. It's like, all right, boys, I know we want to close this now, but
right.
let's just take a moment here. Let's get out all the goodies that we require to get this one over the line.
They'll have these little setups in their back pocket as well. Let's try and get a pick towards short. Maybe we can still win the round of a kill here.
Well, these moves are exactly, I was going to say, what you need to have in buckets and spades. But Chopper, he caught a little glimpse there a bit and executes. So that'll be tossed across to Electronic. No armor of any variety for him and his compatriots in Simple and SDY. The only massive threat I would say in this situation is Perfecto. He had a great nuke. 11 kills now for him here on Dust2.
Nice damage. Patsy just peppering them down towards middle. Wonderful, though, continues his great streak, and magixx even more so. Let's take another comfy round here for Team Spirit. Not quite at double digits just yet, but encroaching on it for sure. Simple and SDY trying to find a rifle or two to take with them into the next round. No chance of them denying the round here. But if they can find a weapon, that would be great. I believe there'd be one for Chopper kicking around here somewhere, but you'd assume they hit it, right? So probably throwing on that box right there.
People are very tidy with that now.
Exactly.
The amount of times I got myself in trouble, though, like I would do it at the most inopportune times. I'd be like, well, hold on, let me throw this gun away. I was like, no, but Chad, you should shoot the bad guy.
Chad, we still need to plant the bomb, please.
Sorry, guys. Yeah, actually, you're right. If I just shot him instead of having a grenade out or trying to throw a gun away, oh, okay.
Oh, that was a simple special there. If you get the second, that's exactly what you'd expect, but not meant to be. And SDY in T-spawn will be looking once again to try and salvage one of those weapons. I doubt he'll find it. See if I can have a look around.
So you can drive around here. You got stick.
Wasn't where I thought it was.
Jay's probably found it. He's probably zoomed in 3 different angles.
I'm rusty. Hide and seek will be continued after this. 14-9 though. Team Spirit are starting to wake up just in the nick of time. Match point has not been found yet. You can see the jump scare. CSGO could be a horror game sometimes,
Yeah,
Chad, for sure.
It really can be.
And we will get into round number 24. No double orb set up yet. Can't really afford it, to be honest with you. NaVi still clambering things together. Perfecto with almost no utility whatsoever. And Chopper, he leads the way towards the long double doors here, but will be taken down this time. But his teammates are all towards B. It's a bit of a ruse here. As you can see, the bomb and 3 members make it 4, make their way towards tunnels. And this is where things have been a little bit weaker, has to be said, for NaVi so far. That's where they've given up some questionable rounds, especially to those pistols. Perfecto tucks himself in with the smokes there.
Yeah, well, the pistol round is what's kept the head above water here. I think it would have been done otherwise, right, without that little Tech9 victory.
That was for match point. Because they did a half buy instead of a full commitment. They did Tech9s and that beat split.
Exactly.
It would have been pretty much the game over. They wouldn't have been able to recover.
Another one 4 in a row.
Indeed.
So it's definitely spurred them onto something here.
Oh, I like this booster. You don't see this too often. Could be smoked out, though, but you have to walk out first before you can actually get that smoke deployed. And unfortunately for Patsy, he didn't see it coming. As I said, not very common. And that's a nice, clean kill.
Yeah, for the T's, you'd like to get that Molotov you see a lot thrown, right? So you can make sure you don't have to do the hard clear on the right hand of the doors. It's about eliminating the amount of angles that you have to deal with here. So now, the 3 more players need to hit the deck for Team Spirit to lose their 15th round to NaVi here. And Simple, the big man on campus, was hanging out towards the ramp. It was all a ruse. They're going to peek on in. More information given, and the bomb has been dropped. Electronic is in the mid doors, in the mid round, and the second kill is even nicer. magixx trying to find some space. He does have a kill onto Perfecto for sure. But this one is looking dire as he's going to get the 1G, Henry.
Yeah, he is. Well, it was going to be a death, whatever happens. I don't think it's quite a 1G.
True.
I think that's when you give up the tournament to Molotov. I think that's a different thing altogether. But yes, he did die to his own flames. We will see round 25 come through. NaVi 15, Team Spirit 9, and all of a sudden, all the hype, all the story we're building up, it feels like it's not going to come into fruition. But still, Yep, so ding for 4, in he goes, and it's unfortunate, but it does happen, of course. And we will see the flashes over towards Long, though, to try to get that opening pick, and wonderful. He's playing so well. He manages to open things up, this time taking down the in-game leader. Electronic will be dropped.
magixx has bought an AWP here as well, so
Nice.
this is curious. They
Don't see
really,
many of those.
yeah, really operating with something a little bit old school here.
That is, yeah, it is old school, isn't it? This is rolling it right back.
Back when it would have a lot more individual plays, right? Everything now, as hard as it is for us to get all the details out there, but everything now that you see, another lovely hinge smoke, is like, there's always either some discussion that's been had, whether before the game, during the game, like flash for me here, jiggle peek, let's run boot. There's always an option looking for a peek. It's very rare that you see players going into things too dry. Long control now as magixx has traded out that AWP for an AK, and they're going to get control of pit very easily, but Simple, he's caught that, he's seen that, and he's able to take one back.
Still an awkward position for him. Is he aware the player already made it towards the pit? That's wonderful. His adversary.
He's got a very good idea.
And time is ticking away, Chad. In terms of map control, 2 towards Long, 2 middle. Bomb on the former. Nice Molotov here, but not quite deep enough to really cause any trouble towards Simple.
They're just getting stalled out right now. They can't go long because of Simple's ult. They can't go short because of the utility, and they try to push through. There's 2 players here. SDY onto Patsy. Just 3 more kills for them to find now. NaVi looking to pick up their opening game here at ESL
nice
Pro
shot.
League. 16-9, the 2-0. It's imminent now. Just Siren, last man standing, and there it is. Bit's going to take him down, and there NaVi handling business. That's what you want to see for them in their opening game of this group. You don't want to have any upsets in your opening matches. Keep it clean, keep it quick, and make sure you secure that top spot in Group A. You happy with that?
Happy with that. Really nice to see. NaVi known to start slowly in tournaments. We're not going to see any of that here. Team Spirit, though, to put up a good performance, Chad. Sure, they didn't get the win, but the stars were shining brightly. We saw magixx going off. We saw wonderful firing on all cylinders as well.